Hey everyone, I'm Pam and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing 3 eye looks with one palette, and that palette is the Coloured Raine Queen of Hearts palette, which is absolutely beautiful. I got it sometime last year and hadn't used it all that much just because it's a color story I sort of have a lot of in my collection, but as I use it more, the more I like it, especially the shimmers in this. I've actually swatched them already. It just has some of the nicest shimmers I've ever seen. They are so pigmented, they go on so nice and smoothly. They don't increase the intensity of any sort of creasing in my eyes. They're just absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to be doing 3 looks, ranging from a sort of quicker, more subtle look to something a little more dramatic with this palette. So we will go on to the first one, which is the one I'm wearing now. Alright, so I've got you zoomed in nice and close. Since we're focusing on the eyes, I already have done some of my other makeup. So I've got on my Tinted moisturizer, my brows, and some blush. I've also already primed my eyes just using my Quo primer. And this is going to be the most subtle of the looks. And I'm going to start with this shade Princess here, which is a nice sort of cool dusty pink. I really love pink eyeshadow. I never thought that would happen, but I'm taking this above my crease. So you can see my crease is a little deep set, and I want to be able to see the color sort of peeking up onto the brow bone. So just trying to aim a little higher than I would normally go. Like that. So this first look is going to be the most subtle of the looks. It's sort of a nice, cool pink look with some nice shimmer to it. I actually just started, I did this look a few days ago, and since then I've worn it every day. I just really like how it looks. It's a nice wintry look. And now that we've got the crease done, we're going to go in with Ladyship, which is this bright sort of fuchsia purple color here. I don't find that this is the best for if you really want to get the pigment off. It's a little bit patchy, but if you're just using it for deepening something up, which is what I'm doing, I'm just putting it basically on the outer corner of my eye to add a little extra color and a little more depth. It works pretty nice. I'm just going to dip into it a few times to get the color really showing up on there. And I haven't put on a base color either, you'll notice. I'm just going to go right in with my lid color rather than stacking a whole bunch of colors on top of each other, which is what I usually do. I'm trying to just go a little more simple with this look. Okay, so I've got that there. Just gonna very slightly pull it through the actual middle of the crease. Not much is gonna come off because we've got most of the product off the brush already, but that's fine. And now we're going to go in with Royal Highness, which is this beautiful shimmer. I'm obsessed with this color now. It's sort of like a mauve-y, pinky, very cool toned. Depending on what kind of light it's hitting, it changes up, but I just think it looks so good on the eye. So I'm going to go in with just a small shading brush and pack that color on there, give it a little tap off, and then just put this all over the lid, not quite going to the outer corner, just around 3/4 of the way. And I just love this color. I think it's so pretty. And now we'll go on the other eye. All right, and there we go. And just for a couple little finishing touches, I'm going to go in with Crown, which is this white shimmery shade, and I'm going to put it a little bit on the inner corner, just with a small little brush. Just there. And then one last touch for the brow bone. I'm just going to take another little shading brush, and I'm going to go in with Air, which is just a sort of nudie, peachy color, and just put that right under the brow bone. Step is just to do a little bit under the lash line. I'm going to go in with Duchess, which is a nice warm brown. I'm just going to line right under that lash line, just sort of stamping the color along as a sort of bottom liner effect. Alright, so I've just put on my mascara as well as brushed off a little bit of the shimmer fallout I had under my eyes, and that's finished. I think this look is very pretty, and it was also fairly fast and simple. I think it took quite a bit less time than my looks usually do to put on and blend out, and I'm very happy with it. This is becoming one of my go-to everyday looks, and I hope you like it. Now we will move on to the next one. Okay, new day, new eyeshadow look. Since the last one I did was quite subtle, this one is going to be very bold. Again, I have primed my eyes already using my Quo Brightening Primer, and the first thing I'm going to do is just lay down a base color. So I'm going to take Air here and just put it right from my lash line to just under my eyebrow, just to lay down a sort of base color and set the primer. Okay, now we're going to go for a transition shade. I'm going to go in with Royal Prerogative, which is just a sort of medium brown. And I'm taking this sort of in the crease as well as above the crease onto my brow bone. This is really nice. It applies well with just a little tiny bit of product on the brush. And then go to the other side. Okay, next we are going to just deepen up the corner a little bit, just with a slightly smaller shader brush, and we're going to go in with Duchess, which is this brown here. And just a little, we're going to be covering most of this up with shimmer anyway. I'm trying to learn to spend less time on blending. I feel like I overblend sometimes. So now we're going to go in with what I think is the most intense shade in here. This is Noble Woman, which is this beautiful sort of cranberry shimmer. And I'm just going to take that on the shading brush, and I'm going to put this from the outer corner. See, look how beautiful that shows up. To about 2/3 of the way through, so not taking it all the way into the center, or into the inner corner, rather. Yeah, I stand by that. Coloured Raine has some of the nicest shimmers. They're so easy to work with. I'm sure if you used a wet brush or even your fingers, this would just be even more intense, although it's pretty intense already, so. Just gonna make sure it goes all the way up into the bottom of the crease there. And then all the way sort of into the outer corner. sure the lid is covered nicely. I sometimes have an issue getting right on the lash line to get the color to stick there, but this is going on beautifully. Okay, and now we're going to go in with Your Majesty, which is another beautiful sort of almost coppery gold shade. So I think I'm just going to wet my brush for this color. I find that the Your Majesty color, more than any other shade in this palette, has the most fallout. I always end up with little gold shimmers under my eyes, which is kind of pretty, but also, you know, just requires a lot of cleanup afterwards. So I'm just going in with this tiny little flat shader brush. I'm going to spray it with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer water. Just get it a little bit wet. And then I'm going to go in with that color here, just get the brush all nice and coated. And I'm going to go in the inner corner and the inner third there. This is such a beautiful color. And then when I get to where it's sort of catching the cranberry color, I'm just going to sort of pat it gently over to try to get them to blend a little bit. I just want that really nice and intense, so just going over it again and even taking it into the inner corner here and a tiny bit under. There we go. And now I'm just going to do that on the other side as well. I feel like this is a good holiday look. I really like sort of cranberry and gold. I was doing looks like that with another palette, the Raw Beauty Christie ColourPop one. One of my favorite holiday looks used that. And I really like this color though. Like, it's not really gold, it's much warmer, like almost got a orangey copper thing to it. And again, just sort of patting over where it meets with the red and under the eye and in that inner corner. Okay, so now we are going to go in with just a flat angled brush. And I'm going to go, just keep going bold and go Empress, which is this bright orange here, and use that as my lower lash line. So I'm just going to really go under here until it meets with the shimmery color on the bottom. I just touched my cheek with that. It's okay, I'll clean it up after. So I'm taking this a little further down because I'm also going to go in with a darker color. I'm just going to take a different sort of flat brush. This one's not angled just because I don't think I have a clean angled one. And now I'm going to just go in with Duchess and go even closer and an even thinner line just right under the lashes on top of the orange. And now for under the brow bone, I'm going to go in with Crown, which this color is a little bit deceptive. When you look at it, it looks like a sort of icy white, but actually when you sort of blend it out onto the skin, it has a bit of a almost coppery color to it. Like, it's got some warmth in it that you can't really see when it's in the pan. So just be aware of that when you're using it. I guess it's also kind of like a topper color, and it sort of picks up any other color that you've got on your eyes. I wonder if I can show you here. Can you see? Yeah, it still looks pretty icy on camera here, but in person and on my skin, it definitely starts warming up when you look at it in a certain light. Okay, so I just put on some mascara and used a brown pencil to do a little bit of tight lining and going in my waterline, and I've just cleaned up any fallout from my cheeks. Also put on some lip product, but this is the final eye look. I really love this. Again, I'm just so impressed by the shimmers in this palette. This cranberry just went on like a dream. It shows off so well, even without wetting the brush or using my finger. It just so pigmented, and the coppery shimmer just went on beautifully as well. Wetting the brush did really help. I had much less fallout than normal. So this is the more bold look, and now let's get into the final one. Okay, and now it's time for our third and final look. As usual, I have already primed my eyelids. I made sure to go a little further than normal, so sort of up into like this area here, as well as on the inside of the eye, just because that's the kind of look I'm doing. And today I really want to focus on this beautiful Queen Mother, this like royal purple shimmer color, and I think it will turn out nicely. So just to start off, I'm going to go in with Princess, this pink color here, and just put that in the crease and above the crease a little bit as well, just like we did with the first look. I feel like I'm sort of gravitating particularly to a few colors in this palette, but I just think the sort of pinks and purples are so nicely done, and though the browns also perform very well, it's just sort of the looks I gravitate to sort of uses these. Trying to get up there close to the eyebrow. Okay, so now we're going to go in with my favorite color, which is Royal Highness here, this beautiful shimmer. And I'm just going to take it on a shader brush and just pack that on all over the lid. Try to be a little careful to not, go too far over the crease. You really just want it up to the crease, but to cover the whole area there. Again, I just love this color. It's so pretty. And the other eye. I feel like this is definitely going to be the first one I pan when it comes to that. Although honestly, I don't pan many eyeshadows because I have so many of them. Okay, so now we're going to use Queen Mother here. It's so vibrant. And we're going to take a flat angled brush and we are going to wet it. So I'm going to use my Smashbox primer water. You can use sort of any priming spray or even just water if that's all you have. Sort of saturate the brush, and then I'm going to go into that Queen Mother color, just getting the edge of the brush sort of packed with that color. And what I'm going to do is do sort of like a big graphic wing liner with this. I do have problems with wing liner because my eyes are a little creasy and a little droopy here, but I'm going to do my best and I think it will look good. So I know people say don't pull your skin tight, but sometimes you have to do what you gotta do in order to get a nice smooth application. So I'm going fairly far out. And then I'm going to bring it, let's see, even more. And then bring it along in like a very thick liner here. That looks pretty good. Also, my eyes are a tiny bit uneven on the corners, so it makes it very difficult to do these looks. If you have nice, smooth eyes, probably look better on you, but make sure that brush stays wet so you can get that really precise application. And then I'm going to just continue to line it into a sort of smaller line as we go across the lid. Can you see? And then I find it easier when I get to the inside of the eye to actually start from the inside and connect it to where it went in the middle. Okay, so we've got a fairly thick line there. I actually might even thicken it up just a tiny bit more. All right, so that's pretty good. Now again, I'm gonna just keep wetting this brush as I go. And now it's going to go as the line under my eye. So I'm just going to take this across here. I'm going to try to make it a little bit thicker than I normally would. Don't want it to be too thin. And just make sure it's sort of connecting in a straight line here. Starts out straight and then I relax my eye and then and it stops being straight. So I've got the brush really wet now and I've got just a little bit of the product and I want to just bring it sort of into the center here to sort of extend the line a bit. And then again, we're going to connect it to the bottom lash as well. Just gonna go over that a little in a mirror that you won't be able to see me on, but just one sec. Okay, so now we've got that, so it's going sort of in here. We've connected it. If you go a bit too far, just grab a Q-tip and clean it up. And now I will just do the second eye off camera, since that took a little while. Okay, so now I've got the second eye done. It's sort of a very nice, bold, kind of graphic type liner. Just a few things for finishing touches. I'm going to take a very, very tiny flat angled brush, just like the smallest one that you can find is good. And again, I'm going to wet it just for extra precision and vibrancy. And I'm going to go in with Your Majesty, this beautiful coppery color. And I'm just taking the tiniest bit just on the very, very tip of the brush. And I'm going to place it on top of the inner corner here. So let's get this mirror out. So it's just going right above the purple liner in the corner of my eye. Just for the tiniest little bit of brightness there to sort of contrast against the purple. Now, depending on your eyes and what you think of this look, you can try also doing this line underneath the wing here. I thought that would look really nice, but when I tried it, when I was practicing this look, my eyes are just a little too creasy on the outer corners and it didn't look as like sharp as I wanted it to. But if you have smoother eyes, you might want to try that. Just the littlest bronzy copper line underneath the liner just to like balance it out. But as it is, I think this looks pretty cool and pretty vibrant. Now I'm just taking a tiny little flat brush and I'm going in with Crown, which is just this whitish topper shade, and I'm just going to put this under my eyebrows on the brow bone. For a little extra shine. All right, I'm back. I just cleaned up under my eyes, put on some eyeliner in the waterline, and put on mascara, and that completes the look. I think this is pretty cool. I think it just shows off how vibrant and workable these shimmers are. They can be used as either an all-over lid shade or highlights, or as a liner, as I did here. Try to get you some better looks at the full shadow. Yeah, I really like this quite a lot. I should probably put some lipstick on because I'm looking a little washed out now maybe, but yeah, that's the final look for the Queen of Hearts palette. Alright, so that's it for this 3 looks, 1 palette video using the Coloured Raine Queen of Hearts palette. I hope you found some inspiration here. It's a really beautiful palette to work with. I think the only color I didn't use in a look was Dethrone here, which is the darkest purple, but rest assured it applies just as beautifully as the other ones in the palette do. For this last look, I was actually inspired to put on false eyelashes for the first time in years, definitely the first time on this channel, and it's something I'm definitely not used to. It feels and looks a little bit ridiculous to me. I'm sure it's just something you need to, you know, get used to yourself looking like and feeling like, but it just makes me feel like I need to just like bat my eyelashes at everything, which is silly. But yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know if there's another palette you would like to see more of, or any type of video at all. Just talk to me in the comments, and share this channel if you know anyone in your life who likes makeup videos. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I originally did the close-ups without the eyelashes on because I was pretty sure I'd screw everything up, which I kind of did. You can definitely see some glue left over here, but not bad for the first time wearing lashes in a very, very long time.